Once upon a time, a boy named Icarus lived in Crete. His father, Daedalus, was a great inventor.
Daedalus could make the most incredible things, from wooden cows that moved like real ones to swords that found their target on their own. Daedalus worked for the cruel king of Crete, Minos. Father and son lived in the palace and had all the comforts. All they had to do was clap their hands, and immediately a servant would bring them what they wanted. But they could not leave the palace because Minos kept them prisoners. Icarus longed for the day he could leave Crete far away. One day his dream came true. We must leave the island. The king wants me to make war machines and refused. His father told him.
And how are we going to leave? Icarus asked. The king has got guards at every gate. We will leave the island by flying, he answered.
Icarus could not believe what he was hearing. He knew that his father had made fantastic inventions, but could he make real wings that would allow them to fly? Well, what do you think? Daedalus asked as he was opening the door of his lab. Icarus was left speechless. Two huge pairs of wings were on the table. They looked like real wings, but they were made of feathers and wax.
Aren't they nice? Daedalus asked. We are leaving tonight. Tonight, Icarus said. The sooner, the better, his father said.
That night, Icarus followed his father on the roof of his palace. Daedalus tied the feathers on his son's shoulders. I will leave first, he said as he saw him. All you have to do is to wave your arms. The sea breeze will carry you away.
But you must not be too close to the sea, because the moisture will weigh your wings down and you won't be able to fly, but not near the sun, because its heat will melt the wax and you will fall into the sea, he advised his son.
Icarus trembled with fear. Would his wings work? What would happen if he fell into the sea?
Daedalus took a running step and opened his arms. Suddenly, the breeze lifted him up. Hurry, my son, he shouted. Icarus felt his legs trembling. He gathered his courage, took a deep breath, and leaped into the void.
For a moment, he felt like he was going to fall into the void. Then he felt himself floating.
He opened his eyes and saw the sea shimmering in the moonlight beneath his feet. Icarus let out a shout of joy. Look at me, he called to his father and did a somersault in the air. Be careful, his father said. We have a long way ahead of us. Follow me. I'm coming, said Icarus with a sigh, but as the night gave way to day and the sun rose high in the sky, Icarus began to grow bolder. Could I fly higher than the eagles? And he wondered.
Then he spread his wings and soared toward the sun. He flew higher and higher, flapping his wings.
Yay! He shouted as he flew faster and faster, getting closer and closer to the sun. Icarus felt like king.
As he flew, he saw a feather pass in front of his eyes, but he could not understand what was happening. A feather so high up, higher even than where the birds fly. Το είπα λίγο μπερδεμένα.
Then he looked at his wings and immediately remembered his father's words. The sun had started to melt the rocks. He had to get down lower as quickly as he could.
Icarus flapped his wings fast, but more and more feathers were swirling in the air. The wax had melted almost completely, and he felt himself falling
Until, splash, he fell into the water. When Daedalus realized what had happened, it was already too late. The only thing left of Icarus were a few feathers floating on the water. Poor Daedalus was inconsolable. He had managed to escape from King Minos, but he had lost his son. He continued to fly until he reached another island, Sicily.
Then he took off his wings and lived alone and sad until the end of his life. Icarus was punished because he didn't listen to his father's advice. The sea where he fell was named the Icarian Sea.